Okay, so this time I've decided to go for something a little bit different and start a series which are is really geared for players who are stuck in the so-called Elo Hell and are trying to get out of it. So I'm not really trying to argue about like the existence of Elo Hell or whether it doesn't exist, whatever, because I mean it's more complicated than it seems, so I don't want to get into that. But so first off, I guess a few things off the top of my head is that if you truly think you don't belong in the elo that you're at, like one of the biggest things, and I can't stress it enough, is that you really need to be head and shoulders like above the rest of the players. If you need to not only like winning your lane isn't really enough. Like you need to completely crush your lane, like prevent them from getting creep kills. You need to be that good in order to like consistently get out of the elo that you're in and rise quickly. One more thing is that like you can't carry yourself out or like someone else out of Elo Hell by playing any champion. Like for example, if you're like Heimerdinger, it doesn't matter if you're 11-0. If they have like a team with gap closers, you're still sort of like helpless to do your thing. So the characters that are really good against in Elo Hell low level play are like the so-called pub stompers. Like off the top of my head, I can think of, you know, Darius would be really good, LeBlanc would be really good mid lane, like just characters that are, it's really simple and easy to get kills with early game, and then let that just snowball you, because in like this low level of gameplay, people don't really know how to regroup and recollect themselves for late game to make a comeback. So this game I'm playing Mordekaiser. I actually don't play him very often. This is maybe like my third or fourth time playing as Morde, and this is a new account that I just got with really bad runes, by the way. Like because I just got the account from someone, so I'm running like pretty much almost straight up AD. I have a few AP runes, but that's it. So I'll be laning mid against Akali. Honestly, I would love to play LeBlanc just because I love LeBlanc, just to stomp mid, but this account didn't have it, so I'm stuck with Mordekaiser. So starting off the game by leashing Master Yi, and then I come mid. So right off the bat, like you can tell this Akali isn't too great of a player, because she doesn't, I mean we're both melee, so it shouldn't be that difficult for her to come and CS without only using her Q, which is what she's doing. So right now I'm pretty much zoning her without even trying. I'm just taking the minions and she's like staying back at her tower. So as you can see, she has 2 creep kills and I have 6, so I'm like vastly outstancing her right now, and she's trying to use her Crescent Blade for creep kills, and that's all she can do. Let's see about Elo Hell in general. Like if you think you're good, if you think you're too good for your elo right now, like one thing you have to do is be a leader. You can't just dominate your lane and then like if your team feeds and you lose because of that, you can't just say, oh, my team sucks, like report them, like I'm way too good for this. Like I mean, I wouldn't necessarily agree with you. Maybe you're not, because you really have to be a team leader. You need to make the calls, make the Baron and the Dragon decisions that'll win you the game, because that's like already half of being a good player, is just making those calls. Another thing is wards. Like a lot of people really underestimate wards, and even in higher elo, like up to gold and even higher, like people really just rely on the jungler and the support to buy wards, and that's not necessarily going to do you the trick, especially if you're mid lane, because if you're top lane, your jungler can ward for you sometimes. You don't have that many places to ward. If you're bot lane, your support's got you covered. But if you're mid, like you have so many places to ward. Even if your jungler puts down a ward for you, it's not going to get you a lot of places. So back to the game here, Lee Sin comes for a gank. I saw him coming up the river, and I know that Akali's low enough that my ignite and my moves can take her down. So here Lee Sin tower dives me, and notice that right as my tower attacks him once, I turn around and use my E on him, which regains my shield and lets me tank enough damage to survive him, which gets me the double kill. So this is what I'm talking about in low elo. Like these are the kind of moves you need to pull in order to like carry the game and let you win. You need to rely on your enemy's stupid mistakes and see that coming. See, if Lee Sin was coming up, I could have just taken the safe path and just stayed at my tower because I knew he was coming, so he wouldn't have killed me that way. But this way, like, you need to know your own ability. You need to know how strong your opponents are, how much damage they can do, and this way you can potentially get fed like I just did here. So I got back, noticed that I bought 2 wards. It's really important to ward both sides because your jungler can play in both directions. Like, going back to what I said about having to absolutely dominate your lane, like, compare this lane right now. I'm not CSing very well at all because part of it has to do with me being Mordekaiser that I don't really play really often, and another is like being a melee in mid, which I'm just not really accustomed to. So not really giving any excuses, but my CS could be a lot better. But even notice that even though I am CSing pretty badly, like Akali's got 11, I'm crushing this lane right now. I'm 2-0 and she's 0-1. Plus I have a Kage to give me that extra little bit of gold. And like, I can't stress enough how important the mental factor is. Like, after I got the double kill mid, my team, even though they didn't really say anything, like, they immediately, you know, it's like a little factor that cheers them up. It makes them think they can win the game. And then if you notice, like, the chat, Lee Sin is obviously in a bit of a negative attitude. He thinks he can't win. He's even threatening to go AFK. By the way, when people say they're going AFK, like 90% of the chance they're actually not going to. They're just saying it to be a little bitch. But like, that's huge. If Lee Sin, I mean, if you don't think you can win the game, you're probably not going to win the game. So Master Yi is chasing Lee Sin in the jungle, but I don't think we're going to get the kill, so I just leave him alone and stay in the lane. Notice the Akali's, like, she's just wasting her shroud, and she's not really doing much with it, so this Akali hasn't been able to effectively stop me from farming at all. So now that Akali's level 6, I should play a little bit more carefully because she actually has pretty high burst, and if I don't have a shield up, then she can actually take me down quite quickly. But before she has 3 charges on her ultimate, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. So I want to use my E to harass as much as I can and stay out of tower range. One good thing is that even if I do get hit by the tower, my shield lets me take the entire thing without taking damage. I wanted to keep the lane sort of frozen in the middle so that I could punish Akali heavily for trying to CS, but she keeps using her shroud, which not only makes her invisible that I have to guess where to use my skill shot, but also makes her have increased resistances. So notice there, I was able to harass her under her tower, and my shield tanked the entire thing without me being punished by the tower at all. So knowing that I can't really punish her in the middle of the lane, then I just decided to push the lane out because it'll make her CS even less effectively if she's under her tower. So I get one more shot on her, and I think this forces her to go back to base. Okay, I think it's around here that I got really distracted because my grandma started talking to me, and I wasn't really paying attention to the game anymore. Which, I mean, I should have recalled, honestly, but I didn't think it would be that much of a problem. So Akali recalled, which obviously I wouldn't have seen because of my blind vision or whatever. You know what, actually let me turn this Fog of War off. So here I am. Yeah, I'm trying to recall right here because my grandma was talking to me. I didn't really notice where I was, which is obviously not the smart choice. The tower focuses me twice before I notice what I'm doing. And then I lost track of when Akali went back, so I stay in lane and try to farm, which is a really bad decision. I should have gone back and took the safe path this time. So Akali just flashes in and kills me because I didn't know what I was doing. But I'm honestly not too worried. Like 56 creep kills to her 21. So I'm still doing very well. My team's also doing well. My Darius is pretty much destroying the top lane. Like I said, Darius is another great champion to play in low elo matches because people really don't know how to like counter the pub stomp characters in this low level. So Darius is going mid here to kill Akali, which I think he does. Yeah, Darius is pretty strong at this point. So he just, the hemorrhage and ignite, I think takes Akali down. Now I'm back alive and I'm going back to lane. It's really nice that Darius did that for me because that just sets Akali that much more behind. So here Lee Sin comes to gank Darius, but I flashed in order to help Darius out and kill Lee Sin. I don't think I needed to use that flash because Darius could have taken him out easily by himself and I could have just like shielded him or whatever for the assist, but better safe than sorry. So now the Lee Sin clone is really helpful in taking down the tower. And now I'm just doing what Morde does best, like using my abilities to my best advantage, which is pushing. My team's, I think, is going to kill Dragon at this point, but I don't really feel the need to help them because their jungler's dead. So again, I bought 2 wards and I placed 1 on each side to be aware of jungler ganks while Akali's at her tower, so I don't really miss out on much. Now I think, yep, Akali's looping back to try to kill me. So it's not really successful because my shield is up and everything. So she pretty much blows everything. And I was planning to camp this bush and then just burst her down, but she ran away. I didn't want to really risk it too much either because she could have killed me. But I wasn't too worried the whole way through, especially because she's so much weaker than me right now. She has half my creep kills. So here, I'm pretty sure she wants to have another go at killing me. So I'm ready for her whenever she wants to engage. And I have to keep constant tabs on where the rest of their team is. I see their bot lane's there, top is still there, and I have plenty of time to see the jungler approach through my warding. So this game, I haven't really been given a lot of direction. The only thing I really told my teammates to do was to kill wolves in the beginning before he killed Blue Buff, the jungler, which he didn't do, obviously. But I mean, that's because we're doing pretty well in this game. I'm not confident that I can single-handedly carry because Morde is just one of those characters. But like, if we were pretty much even, or if we were on the losing side, then I would be really be leading my team a lot better. So here, I noticed that Darius is trying to cut off Lee Sin, and I don't really want to follow him. I'd rather just farm and push mid, especially I see as Akali's going bot. I'd rather push, but I just came along with Darius just in case, and nothing comes of it, so I just go back to mid and farm. Like one thing with low elo matches, which is really annoying, is like how easily people rage, which is another reason why they're stuck in this elo. Like I said earlier, if you think you're gonna lose, you're probably gonna lose. I mean, not cooperating with your team or whatever, that's the formula right there to lose games. So Lee Sin right here tries to trade with me, which obviously isn't working, and I just ult ignite him. That damage is enough to take him down over time. So just taking advantage of other people not being too bright, which is really what you have to do. You just need to get yourself as fed as possible, get the enemy to believe that you're so fed that they can't win against you, and then they'll either surrender or you'll just outright win the game. So I'm using Morde's amazing pushing power to punish Akali for leaving mid. So she's coming back mid. I'm confident that if she stays to fight me, I can take her down, so I'm not really worried at all. I was actually pretty surprised that she took the direct path because her HP is so much lower than mine. So she tried to trade with me, I use my moves, and she actually has to flash away. So I take their race and recall. That's one other thing. If you're playing AP mid especially, and if you're winning the lane and pushing them pretty hard, then just feel free to take their raids. Like, it's just, as long as you leave 1 or 2 little raids, it just punishes their team that much more. So now I've got my Deathfire Grass finished. I don't remember if I actually used it this game, but
Shut down.
it's really helpful for when I want to instantly kill somebody, which at this point I think I'm fed enough to do. So my team's pretty happy right now. We're doing well. Their team not so much, arguing amongst themselves, etc. Which is the ideal position to be in. Like, if the comebacks are always possible. Never assume the game's over until the Nexus is dead. But in my opinion, a comeback is actually impossible if the team doesn't cooperate amongst themselves. So here Akali tries to 1v1 me. I bait her when she gets me low because I know that she can't take me down with that damage. So here Zilean comes in. I didn't really need her, but I didn't really need him, but he picked up a kill. So I mean, like I said earlier, better safe than sorry. Another reason why Morde is one of the more ideal champions to play when you're carrying yourself out of Elo Hell is because of his ultimate, which enslaves the soul and gives you the clone, which is so great in a 2v1 situation. If you manage to pick one of them off, then the other one should be easy prey if you have your clone with you, especially since it gives you boosted stats. So I noticed Taric and Varus coming up to kill me. Right now, before my team gets here, I just want to stall as much as possible. I juke his skill shot, shield myself to give me the bonus, and just attack him once and run because I'm pretty low. I know that now that Zilean's here though, I can come back in because I know that he'll just ult me if I'm about to die. So I ignite Akali, my team picks her off. I do get ulted, but my team managed to finish everyone off before the ult actually gets activated. So it was a bit of a waste, but I mean, I still thank him anyway, just to show appreciation. Which just, once again, like, goes along with what I've been saying this whole time, which is just like, you need to be a leader, you need to be someone like that your team likes and trusts. If you want, especially if in a closer game, if you want them to trust you on Baron calls and listen to you late game. So here, notice where I put my ward. In case we don't finish this game right now, that the ward, which is right here, gives us perfect vision of their base. And if we're starting to do Baron or something, then we know exactly when they're gonna be there because we see them walking out of their own base. But I think the game actually does finish at this point. Taric managed to pick off Darius to the end, but that's no big deal. We end up killing him, and I think we just win the game right here. So, just I guess as a recap, a few of the most important things if you're trying to get out of Elo Hell. One is that you need to be mechanically skillful. You need to be able to crush your lane every single game. And two is that you need to play the right characters. Play the characters that get early kills and just snowball from there. So thanks for watching this commentary, and I hope it helped.